Dooby-doo, dooby-doo. Game will be starting. Anthony G, here we go. Chat, let me know if you can hear me okay. Got to get this set up so we can... they're buddies, Braden. They're buddies. That's the way it goes. Let me know if you can hear me okay in the chat. We're trying to get this set up so I can record meaning write. Got to write these things down. And also speak into the microphone. Mic check. Can I get a mic check? Can I get... I thought I had it over here. Loud and clear. Okay, sounds good. Okay. All right. So right now it's Enjoy the Zen. We'll be right back. Let's make this full screen. Game's going to start in a couple of minutes. So we'll see what this team is all about here. Coming up on FSPN, the Frankie Sports Programming Network. Would look better in a fedora. Yeah, I was actually looking at purchasing one. Got to get the right one. The ones I saw online I didn't really love. You got to go to the right haberdasher and get yourself a nice hat, you know. But what are you going to do? You know, we got to bring fashion back. We got to bring men's fashion back. Go back to the classic look. And maybe things will improve. Phil Adams, is this the new beginning we deserve or another false dawn? Only time will tell. Yeah, only time will tell. We'll see how this team looks. Is Justin Fields the man, or is he just another guy passing through? In the cavalcade of quarterbacks that has been the history of the New York Jets. We'll have to find out, starting with this game. But either way you look at it, either Justin Fields is the man, or we're going to go into the draft and get one of those talented quarterbacks out of the draft in 2026. So either way, we'll know one way or the other. Either way, we'll know. Hills hats. Well, I'm not going to be in New Zealand, Braden. That's a problem. So we're coming out of the tunnel, or they're showing video of us coming out of the tunnel. We got guys jogging on the field. All right. Kind of seems like way less hype. Hopefully this year is kind of like less hype, more competence. The last couple of years were tons of hype, not much competence. Hopefully this year we're more business-like, and we actually know what we're doing. Todd says 21-9 Jets. They export to the USA. Well, the problem also, too, is getting a nice fit. Yeah, you can measure your head all you want, but the hat has to have a certain fit to it. And a fedora is not going to be adjustable, or any of those type of hats. They're not going to be adjustable. So you got to get one that's feels right on your head, that, gets the right, it's got to feel. I think I got to actually go into an actual hat store. I do almost all shopping online these days, but I think for this, it requires a little bit extra effort. Requires being in the store, getting something that looks nice, fits perfectly, and no surprises. You don't open up the package and you're like, "What the hell is this?" It's not what I ordered. Bradigan's here. Good to see Chris Bradigan, longtime OG of FSPN. A lot of the people in this chat, like Phil Adams, Braden, Bradigan, OGs of the FSPN channel before it was called FSPN. Well, you could call it the Frankie channel, but we got some OGs in the chat. Christian McCaffrey, by the way, looks like he's playing for the 49ers, so we'll see how that goes. People not playing for the Steelers include Derek Harmon and Nick Herbig. That's the brother of Nate Herbig. He's a linebacker that they have that's very good. And Derek Harmon is their first-round pick, defensive tackle, also very good. And he will not be playing in this game due to injury. Omatic is here. All right, it looks like the Jets will be receiving. So the Jets will be on offense because I see the kicker from the Steelers. So the Jets are going to start this one out on offense. Temperature 66 degrees and cloudy. Stadium looks pretty good. Xavier Gibson back to receive. Chris Boswell, the kicker from Pittsburgh. There's people still on the field over there. Get those people off the field. All right, here's the kickoff, and looks like it's Kene Nwangu. Scoots through, gets up to the 34-yard line. Not too shabby. All right, so that's where the season starts, 34-yard line. Here comes Justin Fields and the Jets offense. Let's see what they're going to be starting out with. We got Mason Taylor, Reynolds. God, don't show Rodgers. Can I see the people playing the game right now, please? No, they got to show Aaron Rodgers. Ruckert's on the field along with, can I see who else is on the field? Thank you. We got 85, so that's 12. We're in 12 personnel. The first play is a run. Breece Hall. There he goes up the left sideline. That's a big gainer for Breece. Nice job. Running left. That looks like a first down. That's definitely a first down. First down. He went for 5, 10, 15. What is that? 23 yards? I'll write it down for 23. Glenn is all psyched up about it. Now we're in 11 personnel. First and 10, man in motion. There's another run. Breece, another 7 yards. Good job, Breece. +7. Second and 3 it should be. So run. Ground and pound. Looks like that's what we're doing. Even at 11 personnel. We went 12, then we went 11. Glenn's got a smile on his face. Wry smile. Trying to run. Hall's out of the game. Second and 3. Mason Taylor in there. Can I see who's? Why do they have these stupid Becks in there? That's going to be 21 personnel. And we hand it off to Braylon Allen, and he goes for 2 and almost 3. Did not get the first down, so we'll just say +2, 3rd and 1. But it's really less than 1. So probably this should be Braylon all over again. Probably 12 personnel, but let's see if they'll show me who's actually on the field instead of these. Oh, we're in 11 personnel. Uh-oh. Oh, and Fields does a quarterback sneak for 6 yards. We'll take a quarterback sneak for 6 yards. We'll take it. So that's 2 first downs. We haven't thrown the ball yet, but we're supposed to be ground and pound. And we are grounding and pounding. And we're doing it out of 11 personnel. We're doing it out of 21. We're doing it out of 12. Hall back on the field now. Now we're back into 12. This seems to be our normal package here. Fields in a shotgun. It's been all runs, 4 runs so far for the Jets out of 4 plays. Fields back to pass. His first pass as a Jet is complete to Garrett Wilson. Looks like about 8 yards. That's a good gainer on first down. Nice and easy. Take what they give you, they said. Yeah. Make the easy stuff look easy. Fields is wearing 2 gloves in the weather. Wilson wide open, not the greatest pass in the world, but good enough. We'll take it. Good job, Garrett. It's a little behind. All right, Justin. Now we're in 11 personnel here. That was the first pass of the season. Man in motion, and it's a running play. Haul up the middle. That's a first down. It's about 4 yards. So, again, that's the third first down on the drive. This is an impressive-looking drive for the Jets as they come out pretty much grounding and pounding. Out of 6 plays, 5 have been runs. Hall, the main ball carrier. Fields ran 1 time, and Braylon Allen ran once. And 1 pass, Fields to Wilson. So we're moving the ball pretty well. Got to say, it seems like the O-line's doing a good job. We are in 11 personnel again. Fields under center, no motion on this play. Hands the ball to Braylon Allen, and he's stopped for a yard or so. This is a nice stop by Mr. Watt. Allen +1. All right, 2nd and 9. So that was kind of the first play that didn't work. And he beat Membu. So something went wrong there with the blocking, but Membu just overset to the right for some reason or other. That just looked like more of a mistake by Membu than anything. 2nd and 9. Now Fields is in the shotgun. Here we're at the 19-yard line. Another running play. This is Braylon Allen gets hit behind the line. So now these running plays are not working so well. Now it's 3rd and 11. So now we're in the high red zone. Watt is running around banging heads with people. And now we're and that was just not a good idea. We let Watt just run right in there. We didn't block him, so that's not exactly a great play by J.J. Watt. Anybody could have done that, but nonetheless, he didn't fall down, I guess. So now it's 3rd and 11. We're in shotgun. We are in 11 personnel. Now Fields is going to have to make a throw here. So this is the first time he's being asked to make a throw, and he doesn't throw. He does a running play up the middle. So that just goes to show you we are keeping it on the ground. Should be a field goal try at this point in time. So we did not ask Fields to, on 3rd and 11, with their ferocious pass rush, come up with, something maybe trying to guard against their ferocious pass rush. So we played it safe, ran it up the middle, picked up about 5 yards, and that was Isaiah Davis's first carry on the season. Nick Folk on, and he's good. So the return of the Folk hero. And it's a field goal, good. So basically, ground and pound. We got 3 points. Not too bad. Not great either. We kind of stalled in the red zone there. I did not see a lot of RPO action there, and so maybe it turns out we're not going to be an RPO-heavy offense after all. And that would be disappointing. But on the other hand, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. On the other hand, if we run, if we run these kind of plays and they work, I don't really care. But we did have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 out of 9 plays were runs. In case you were wondering if we were going to be ground and pound, we ran 8 out of 9. Pretty good success. We just bogged down on the last series there. It seemed like Membu got beat one time. Another time was not well designed. I don't know how you design a play that doesn't block J.J. Watt from the backside. Of course, he's going to come from the backside and take your running back down. So I don't think that was good. Maybe the tight end was supposed to block him and just didn't. I don't know. But pretty good plays, pretty good drive, at least not terrible. And we did get points, so 3 points from there. Yeah, so Edutain Me says, a couple of mistakes in there, but at least you saw the personality. So at least we established who we are. We're a ground and pound team. That's just what we are. And I guess we're going to take points when they're there in terms of, don't risk it. Don't risk it for the biscuit. Take the field goal when when it's there. We should have a reliable kicker this year with Nick Folk. So, you see and maybe the idea is this is the way it is, and we just ramp Fields up. We don't ask a lot of him. Early going, let him get comfortable, let him get situated, let teams think we're going to just ground and pound them, and then we hit them with the passes over the top. So we'll see how it works out. But now Aaron Rodgers comes on the field, and we'll see how the defense does. Ryan King is here. Appreciate the super chat, Ryan. Let's go Jets. Indeed, the Jets are on top 3-0 as we are live streaming this game from cloudy MetLife Stadium. And there's a kickoff, and the Steelers pick it up. Stumbalaya and gets it out to the 28-yard line. That's where Aaron Rodgers will pick up. Here he comes striding out onto the field. Let's see how the defense looks against this man that used to be our quarterback last year and the year before that when he got injured. And looks like the Jet fans are booing. And as you'd expect, boo, boo, boo. But let's see how this defense is going to look. Bunch of Steeler fans in the crowd. They're showing Rodgers comes to the line now that we are, and first play is a sack. So that's good. Jermaine looks fast. Sherwood's in there. I couldn't tell. I guess we were in base. They didn't give me enough time to look. Will McDonald got in there pretty quick. No, that was Quinnen. That was all Quinnen. Quinnen Williams starts the season with a sack-a-laya. You got to love that. So now it's going to be second down and about 15, I guess. They're not telling me. They just refuse to give me information. 14. Now we're in nickel. Of course, Michael Carter's on the field. Rodgers is in the shotgun. 11 personnel. They run it up the middle. And pretty decent defense. That's Gainwell. Picked up maybe 4 or 5 or so. Third, and they got to get their narratives in. Just give me the information about the goddamn game. I hate these narrative bullshit things. We didn't have enough narratives in the pregame and leading up to it and all this. 3rd and 10, so that was 4-yard gain for Gainwell. We are in nickel. Still Michael Carter on the field. This was a run. Okay, this should be a pass. All right, that's the basic info. They are in... Looks like 12. A little slant to Freiermuth. And that's what you'd kind of expect. Freiermuth for 11. That's a first down, 1st and 10. Yeah. Decent coverage by Sherwood, but those kind of slants are hard to guard against. Probably in base now. Yeah, base with Kiko. So Kiko Mawagoa is on the field. This is a run with Warren. That's a loss of 1. Good job, boys. Juwan Briggs on that tackle. -1, 2nd and 11. So Juwan Briggs getting some action. Nice tackle on that one. New Jet. Good job, 91. Seems to be a little bit of confusion here. As we are in, I wish they would show the players on the field. That would be a very good thing to do. Show the players on the field. This is base. They tried to do a pick play there. That was an interesting route. Incomplete. 3rd, and I have it as 11. So Metcalf kind of gets sauce to get picked off by his own guy in a way, but then drops the ball. He's eating too many dropsicles. All right, now we're in nickel, and this should be a pass. 3rd, and I have it as 11. The screen says 10. But nonetheless, 3rd and long. Let's see if we dial up a blitz. We got some pressure. Sim pressure. It looks like up the middle. Looks like one-on-one on the outside. Here comes Michael Carter on a blitz. It's picked up. Rodgers throws toward it to Metcalf, who fakes out a guy, and there he goes. We're going to blitz him. Yeah, he knows how to deal with the blitz. Sorry. Metcalf goes for, and 22 is Adams, miss a tackle, of course, 5, 10, 15, 23 yards. And Tony Adams, so, when you have a weak spot on a team, that tends to show up very quickly. You don't want to address safety all offseason. Well, guess who's going to get burned? Your safeties. So now we are in base, and it looks like Rodgers is in control. No problems. We're not really giving him any problems here. This is our base. Let's see. Play action. Setting up the screen to 81. I think that's Washington. No, Smith. Oh, that's Jonnu Smith, right. Man, he's always bigger than you think he is. 2nd and 3. I have it as 3. They have it as 4. Okay, that was a 6-yard gain. And we are in base. Looks like our third linebacker is Kiko Mawagoa. Speculated about that all weekend. Rodgers in the shotgun. Hands the ball off. That's another first down right up the middle. So defense not looking great right now. That's a first down. We're in base again. Ron Gainwell. Second down and 8. I have it as. Oh, 7. We're in nickel. Rodgers under center, man in motion, right to left, and he fakes a handoff, rolls to his right. Wide open is whoever that is. We just made it super easy. Ben Skowronek. We look pretty bad there, I would say. Very bad defense. Very bad defense, I'd say. This is about a 22-yard gain, plus 22. Wide open, nobody there, middle of the field. Touchdown. Ben Skowronek, whoever that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10-play drive. Extra point good. One, 2, 3, 4. 6 passes, 4 runs. So that was not good. Maybe they'll do better next time. Started out good with the sack. Yeah, Sullivan says, don't wait till halftime. Yeah. Yeah, we did. I mean, some reason people think safety is just a position you could put any old person there. Yeah. Yeah, it looked pretty easy. We didn't really present any real problems for them. I mean, we blitzed one time, and Rodgers, killed us. So yeah, not very good. I think when you have those holes on your defense, and the fans can look at the roster and go, this is this position's a problem, like safety. And there's people out there that could have helped us, that we could have signed, and we just ignored it. That's not good. To think that AG and the coaching staff is going to turn Tony Adams into something excellent when he's not. I mean, the reality is, if Tony Adams makes that tackle where he got juked out, that drive stalls right there. That was a third down play, I believe. Yeah, it was 3rd and 11. They hit a 4-yard pass, and the problem is you got to tackle a guy, and he got juked, and then he went for 23. So basically, like a 5-yard gain was what it should have been, but because Tony Adams can't tackle and shouldn't be on the field, like I've been saying all summer, why is this guy on the roster, let alone starting? You can't just. I mean, he didn't even get a hand on him. It didn't even have anything to do with how big and strong, DK is. He just juked him. Made him look like Tiny Tony, which is what he is. Tiny little man trying to play football in the NFL. All right, so here's the kickoff. Xavier Gibson has it, takes it out to the 40-yard line, stumbles down, and that might be a fumble. It might not be a fumble. In any case, we picked it up. I would encourage Xavier Gibson to stay on the ground and not just throw the ball around. He basically tripped over his own feet. Nobody touches him. He's down. Nobody touches him. That was stupid, boneheaded play. Good play by Marcelino. Again, Xavier Gibson with a boneheaded play. I mean, how many boneheaded plays do we have to watch? And we got lucky on that one. Now we're in the shotgun, and we're throwing the ball out of the shotgun. Uh-oh. Fields in trouble now, trying to run, and he gets a couple of yards. That didn't look good. I mean, we got Tyler Johnson trying to block Alex Highsmith. That's also not great. So we haven't really looked good in the passing game. The running game's been okay. Bogged down there a little bit at the end, but maybe we need to go back to the run game. We are in 11. Yeah, there's another connection. Fields to Wilson. That's pretty good. Looks like a first down. Just keep throwing to Garrett. Just keep targeting Garrett. That's all. That's all we need. 1st and 10. We are picking up some first downs. So the offense has actually looked okay. The defense looked like garbage, but maybe this will be a high-scoring affair. You never know. All right, Justin. This looks like 12 personnel. That's not going to work. So this was a pass. This is Hall. Was able to get a couple of yards there. Second and 7, so that was +3. Not too shabby. We're in 11 personnel out of the shotgun. Fields back to pass. Throws it over to Hall. Gets a few yards close to the first down. 3rd and 1 or 2. Hopefully be able to bang this across. 3rd and 2. Let's see. Again, 11 personnel. Hall with an inside run, able to pick it up. That's a first down. First down. +3. Good job, Brees. 1st and 10. So we are picking up a bunch of first downs. The offense is moving the ball, so this is kind of encouraging. Good blocking up front. They're trying the peanut punch. Of course, they're famous for that, including T.J. Watt is famous for his peanut punching. This is 12 personnel. We got motion. Fields in a shotgun. Going back to pass. Looking downfield. Atta baby. Maybe this is going to be a shootout. Just keep throwing it to Wilson. This is a bomb. This is like 35. Well, not really a bomb, but nicely done. Easy peasy. Ground and pound and then throw it over the top. That's what we said. Attaboy Garrett. AG all happy. How many yards officially on that? And of course, he misses the extra point. Oh, there's a flag. This was a bad snap, actually. Well, they called a penalty on the Steelers. We missed the extra point, but they called some sort of formation problem with the Steelers. So now we are going to go for 2, maybe. I don't know, because they refused to show the field. And, of course, we have the sound off here. Yeah, we're going to go for 2. I'm not sure about this one. Just because they move the ball up to the 1, there's some data that says when they do that, you're better off going for 2. I would just take the point. See, for me, I don't love this. I would just take the point. We just run it up the middle like a bunch of idiots. Just take the damn point. And you don't even run anything great. You just run it right up the middle where they expect it. That's so dumb. All right, but nonetheless, Wilson did catch a touchdown pass. So there you go. But of course, extra point missed. And then 2 point, no good. So we're just going to say 2 point, no good. And then, okay, so, I mean, the offense is looking good. The defense is not. We'll see what kind of adjustments Wilkes wants to make to how Rodgers carved us up, which we all kind of knew he would. Well, at least for one series. But let's see what Wilkes and Glenn want to do. Maybe dial up more pressure and take more chances, because if you do, he can carve you up, but then, you might want to risk it. Yeah, let's not pretend like we're all offensive coordinators. The point of the matter is that you should have just taken the point. Like, it's a strategy issue. That's an AG issue. We shouldn't get fancy. Just take the point and go home. Like, take the point and be happy. Let's not pretend like we're because we're not the Eagles, Ryan. When have we proven we could do a tush push? Just take the point, kick the extra point, and just be happy and move on. I think these coaches get too fancy with these decisions. The only time you should be going for 2 is at the end of the game when you absolutely needed or puts the game, or some strategic advantage. Otherwise, you just kick the extra point, you take it, it's free. You don't know how the game's going to play out. So just take the free point and you move on. He missed the first one because it was a bad snap. Just let him kick the extra point and move on. We haven't proven we could do a push with this offensive line. We're not Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. We haven't proven we can do any of that. Just kick the extra point. I don't like when these coaches make it too difficult. Just like you want the quarterback to take the easy, make the easy stuff look easy. Same thing with the coaches. When there's an easy thing like just take a point, take it. It's a free money. Take your point. Don't get fancy. Oh, they moved the ball from the 2 to the 1. Therefore, no, just kick the extra point. Steelers take it out to the 28-yard line. Ball came loose, but they recovered it. So now let's take a look at this defense, and hopefully, nice play by Marcelino, knocked it out of there. And, of course, we were not able to fall on it because, why get lucky? Now, falling on fumbles, that's really just luck, but in terms of the overall trend. But we knocked it out of there, so that's good. All right, now let's see what happens on this defense. Now let's get maybe we need to dial up some pressure. Maybe we need to do something else. Right now we're in nickel with Michael Carter. So out of the shotgun, Rodgers looking around. A lot of pointing happening. And they throw it out to DK, who fakes us out and runs all the way down the field. Oh, boy. Looks like it's going to be a long year. One jab step, and there he goes, ladies and gentlemen. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, about 34 yards. It's going to be a long day. That's just a wide receiver screen. It's just easy stuff, man. Why is it that he takes one jab step and we can't tackle? Oh, no one's ever done that before. No one's ever made a juke before. No one's ever juked anyone out before. No one's ever done that before. Glad we did all that tackling in the offseason, in the training camp. That really helped out. Glad we did those Oklahoma drill one-on-one tackling, open field tackling. Glad we did that in the offseason. That really helped us out. This is going to be tough to watch, man. Boy, oh boy. Yeah, he hasn't seen this D before, but he's seen 10,000 other ones, Brian. He's the man seen everything in the history of mankind, which is kind of why it's confusing that he played so poorly last year. But there were times he played well, don't forget, of course. Other times, less so. But so far, not impressed with the defense, not impressed with Steve Wilkes, not impressed with our tackling, open field tackling, which is something we specifically practiced. We came up with open field tackle practice, and it's not showing up, unfortunately. So that's annoying. So basically, Metcalf has, like 2 catches, 60 yards or 57 yards, something like that. And other than that, those were the 2 big plays so far. Other than that, they haven't gotten too much. They converted with Freiermuth on a 3rd down play. Then they had the big play to Metcalf, and then the big play to Skowronek for the touchdown, of course. So basically, we're giving up big plays at what the coaches would call explosives, and that's no good. That's no good. because the coaches will tell you if there's one or more explosive on a drive, the increases of it being a touchdown on that drive increase dramatically. So, you want to limit explosives, obviously. So we're in base here, 1st and 10. And it's a pass play. Rodgers throws it away. That's intentional grounding. There's no one in the area. No, they don't call it. Guess he was outside the tackle box. Slightly. Quinnen hit him again. Michael Clemens was in there trying to do something. 2nd and 10. In nickel again. Shotgun. He loves his shotgun, doesn't he? Let's hopefully we can get some pressure. Looks like. Well, here's a running play by Gainwell, and he's wrapped up by Michael Carter. Nice tackle by MC2. Their run game hasn't been that great. I would say it's 3rd and 12, and they say 11. Let's get some pressure on Rodgers. Daniel Jones has thrown a touchdown, it looks like. Yep. Indianapolis is over the Dolphins. All right, now, can we get some pressure, fellas? Let's bring the heat. Tufele's on the field along with Spinny McWhinney. And quick pass out to Jonnu Smith, and he gets shut down. So let's see if they try to kick a long field goal here. Or what? 4th and... What are they going to do here? Hayward. So it looks like... Yeah, they're going to try with Boswell. Now, Boswell's a great kicker for those who don't know. They didn't even tell me how many yards he got on that. I'll just call it 6. He's a great kicker and great at long kicks. So there you go. Field goal good. So they take a 10-9 lead. It should be 10-10, of course. So defense came up pretty big there. Good job. Hold them to a field goal. All right. So went from a touchdown to a field goal. So maybe from here on out, it'll be nada. All right. So now we're starting our 3rd drive here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 plays. Last drive went 6 plays. So we're 9 plays, 6 plays. But we started to pass the ball more on the last drive. So on the last drive, we started to pass the ball more. We had a 4-to-2 pass-to-run ratio, including the big one to Wilson. So Wilson, 8, 16. Wilson's got about 3 catches for about 40-ish yards. So off to a good start for Garrett Wilson. 3 catches of 40-ish yards in a quarter plus. So that's pretty good. Yeah, I wonder how much of the stadium is Steeler fans. It's hard to tell from what they're showing. But he was basing that off of some people who monitor ticket sales, and they were saying about 48% is going to be Steeler fans. But, I don't know how they know. Well, I guess they have their ways of knowing that. But it doesn't look like 48%, Joe, right? So, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, I guess they said he was outside of the tackle box. It was close. And that's why that's one of the many reasons why They should just get rid of intentional grounding. That should not be a penalty. I don't really understand why it is. And the fact that you want the officials to know where the tackle box is on every single play, it's pretty stupid. And plus, the quarterbacks can protect themselves better if they could just throw it away anytime they want to, from these late hits or any kind of hits. Just throw it away. It used to be you could just throw it away anytime you want to. There's no reason to have that be a penalty. All right, Boswell now to kick it away. 10-9 Steelers, second quarter. It's been a pretty entertaining game, I must say, more probably than people thought. And this kickoff is fielded by Xavier Gibson, and he takes it out to the 33-yard line. And now they have to show cartoons. Can we just show the people on the field more narratives and cartoons and bullshit? It's like, just show the game is enough, man. And then we need close-ups of their faces and this and that. All right, Justin in the shotgun, but they never show you who's on the field. Then they never tell you they're in 21 or whatever. That's a pretty good first gainer. That's a designed run for Fields. I'll say he got 6. That was an RPO. Yeah, he got 6. So 2nd and 4, that was a good gainer on first down. Beck was in the game. We're going to call that 21 personnel with Beck, the fullback. Show the people. Thank you. 11 personnel. Shotgun. And that was too late. Pass incomplete. So 3rd and 4. All right, there's Ruckert doing something. Looks like a first down to me. This is a nice pass by Fields. He goes through his progressions, puts it on the money. Nice job. First and 10. We're picking up a bunch of first downs. Comes a blitz. They get it out to Brees. And that's a big gainer. Man. How many yards on that one? First and 10. Let's count them. So it's about the 40-yard line. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Nice job. Out of 11, this is a running play to Hall. Picks up about 3. 2nd and 7. 8. They only gave him 2 yards. Well, we are running out of 11, throwing out of 12, things of that nature, so that's good. Angstrom seems to be having a pretty good game. So far. This is 12 personnel. Fields takes it around the corner and picks up a bunch. That was an RPO. Five, 10, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. 10, about 16. 16 First and goal. It's 21 personnel. All right, Braylon Allen with a touchdown. Well, just like everyone predicted, this is going to be an offensive juggernaut, ladies and gentlemen. Look at Braylon Allen. Get in there, Wilson. Well, now they're going to look at it. Not down, not down, not down. That's a touchdown. See if we can kick an extra point, boys. How about that? Hey, there we go. Well, just like everyone predicted, a slugfest, a barn burner. Sheesh. No one predicted this one. All drives, all scores. Unbelievable. Well, I think so far the returns are good on Tanner Engstrand. Justin Fields is being very efficient. I think Fields' stats are going to look pretty good at the moment. He's been efficient in terms of completions, and then he has those two big plays, one to Wilson and one to Hall. Hall was the screen pass, but went for a big yardage. And so basically Fields is doing exactly what we want him to do. Now, if we could get the defense a little ramped up, maybe we could win a ball game. Yeah, Sullivan says we might need even more than 27 points. Yeah. But remember, that's an average. Yeah, there's going to be games when you need to score more. But if you're averaging 27, I mean, you're in good shape. Hi, Karate. Fields is legit. Well, let's not judge him too quickly. This is so good. I mean, good so far, and this is exactly what you want out of Fields. If you think about it, this is exactly the kind of game you would want to see Fields. This is exactly how you would want him to play quarterback. It's mostly running, but then efficient passing game, and then occasionally you throw one deep to Garrett or somebody else, when they give you the opportunity to do that. This is exactly kind of what you would hope for from if you were looking at it optimistically for the offense. Now, defense, as to why he's carving us up, I mean, Rodgers looks good. That's one thing. Maybe his Achilles is all healed up, and maybe he's going to go back to his 2021 form. Okay, I don't know. That would be unusual for a 42-year-old, but then again, it's Aaron Rodgers, so I mean, you never know. Maybe he's going to, really be good this year, excellent, like he was back in the day. I don't know. I mean, life is weird, man. So let's hope Wilkes and Glenn can make the adjustments that we need here on defense as the game moves along and they see what exactly it is that Rodgers and the offense is doing to them. They've been good against the run. It's mostly just the passing that's been the problem. They take it out to the 28-yard line. They haven't really gotten much on the run. I haven't seen Jaylen Warren. Why is Jaylen Warren not playing? Did they say he got hurt or something? Let me know in the chat if Jaylen Warren got injured. He's their main running back, and all I've seen is Gainwell so far. Jonnu Smith has looked good. Of course, DK Metcalf has burned us a couple of times already, and that's annoying, but, that's DK for you. He's a monster. So 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. We are in nickel. A lot of nickel we're playing. Oh, there's Jaylen Warren. Nice job stringing him out, bud. He picked up about 3. 2nd and 7. No, they gave him 2. Okay. So they're identifying our nickel and trying to run on it, which is interesting. Now we're going to stay in nickel because it's 2nd and long, but we are not, to this point, using any kind of big nickel or anything. Michael Carter's been out there a lot, playing pretty well, it seems like. Shotgun for Mr. Rogers in his neighborhood. So this looks like a pass. Yep. He flips it out to Gainwell. Nice job by 56. So it should be about 3rd and 4. We had pressure that time. 3rd and 4. Let's see how we play it. We're in nickel still with Michael Carter. This looks like it's going to be a pass. Attaboy, 11. Oh, and that's Spinney. Now, that was interesting. I'm going to want to watch that on tape. Because I think he bull rushed him. Let's see. 77. Bull rush. Got in his lap. That's pretty good by Spinney. On Broderick Jones, by the way. In other words, he's showing his power. And that's what you want to see out of Mr. McDonald. Good job, boys. Good job, Gibby, catching it. All right, and we start the offense at the 25. All right, so maybe the defense coming along here. All right, not too shabby. We got a couple of sacks on Rodgers, we do. But he's hit us for a couple of big plays as well. Anthony G says, I think we know of going forward, we need to all watch the Frankie streams. Clearly, Green Bean. Let's not blame Green Bean. Yeah, this is a good point by Rick here. Keep running, he means, not ruining. Keep running. Yeah, let's run him down to the nub. Let's keep running. Run. Keep it coming. Got a couple of folks on the international side. Edward says, I like it. Rollick says, love some Frankie game streams. All right, I like you. I'm happy you guys like it. Sometimes I'm not sure because I'm talking about 12 personnel, all the personnel groupings. Not everybody's into that. I am, but not everybody is. But yeah, let's hope we can keep running it down their throat, wear them down. You know, we got 3 backs that we can use. They haven't really been able to run against our defense, so that's interesting. It's really been open field tackling. You know, on those a couple of the big plays that they've had is just open field tackling. And if you make an open field tackle, which you have to do in this league, you know, you stop them cold. And we weren't able to do it. And DK, he's fast and big and fast, and there he goes. You know, so they'll probably start using Jonnu Smith more. He's looking bigger and bigger as as time goes on. Jonnu Smith, I never thought he was that big. He's a big guy, and also fast and catch passes. So I would anticipate them incorporating him more. But also, they haven't really been able to get the running game going, and that was a theme of us last year when we had Rodgers at quarterback. So you wonder how much of it is that. You know, Rodgers calling pass plays out of the break. Mason Taylor's been quiet, but that's okay. rookie can take a little time. We've basically been throwing to Garrett Wilson only, and that's okay too. We are in 11 personnel here. And Braylon Allen on the field. In this 11 personnel, now we have some motion. And here comes Arian Smith is on the field too as well. They're blitzing us. Fields, nice. Just keep throwing to Garrett Wilson. That's all you need. They say love is all you need. I think Garrett Wilson's all you need. You know? Who said you need more wide receivers than Garrett? Just keep throwing to Garrett. What's the problem? What's the problem here? Some people think love is all you need. I think Garrett's all you need. A little outside motion. That was a weird looking play in terms of the motion. We motioned outside and then ran inside. That's a little strange. But Hall picks up 2 or 3 yards there. They gave him 3, 2nd and 7. Out of 12 personnel. So TJ Watt stalking around on the sideline, giving everybody the stink eye. Now he's over here. 2nd and 7, giving everybody the stink eye. Now we're in 12 again. Motion man is Josh Reynolds. Well, we hand it off to Hall. That didn't go very well. So it should be 3rd and 9. Yep. So our running game kind of has gotten bogged down a little bit too, as our passing game has ramped up a little bit. Elliott, their safety, is limping off the field. Looks like maybe he's okay now. Yeah, our running game has kind of been shut down a little bit, but the passing game, this guy looks like he's in pain. Oof, that doesn't look good for Mr. Elliott, Deshaun Elliott, hopping into the blue tent. All right, but 3rd and 9 now. This is not the kind of down and distance we want to be in with this team. So Watt goes to the other side of the formation. Looks like a blitz. We're in 11. Out of the shotgun. Come on, Justin. Oh, holy smokes. On the money to Tyler Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. I thought he was going to run that one. Who is this precision passer known as Justin Fields? That's about 15 or 20 yards. Jeez. Well, you got to say, boy, Justin playing pretty well at this point in time. Let's keep grounding and pounding, Angstran. We need a timeout. No, we need a timeout, Justin. Delay a game. Come on, Angstran. Keep up the good work, Angstran. This is when this is like another part of the test of, how good is your operation is, if things are flowing, things are going, you're in and out with your personnel groupings, and, if something like that pop up, not great. But now we're in 11. Run Fields. +6. I would keep grounding and pounding. I mean, they look like they're getting a little tired at the moment. Attaboy, Brees. I think that's a first down. Jalen Ramsey's trying to trash talk him. Nice cutback. Did they give him the first down? Did they give him? No. God damn. That was a first down, man. I don't know what the hell happened here. They played that RPO pretty well, though. But now it's 4th and 5, and we appear to be going for it. I don't know why we would do this. We should kick a field goal here. Just kick the field goal. We're not a juggernaut offense. I'm not comfortable saying we're some kind of juggernaut offense. We just had our quarterback slip and fall on his ass. Let's just go for the field goal. We had a nice drive. It bogged down a little bit there at the end. Third and 1, we got too cute. It should just be Braylon Allen. You know. All right, looks like they're sending out the field goal unit. So the field goal is good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 runs, 2 passes there. Snuck it into in there. So 19-10, Jets on top. You know, probably a better offense than we expected. Not perfect yet. Still some clunkers in there in terms of plays. But, you know, what can you expect? This was their third. So this will be their 4th possession. They had a touchdown, then they had a field goal, then they had to punt off of the sack by Spinney McWhinney. Got a couple of sacks. We're getting good pressure on Rodgers, generally speaking. Some decent pressure. Seems like Quentin Williams is having a good game. Jermaine Johnson looks like he looks like his old self, as far as I can tell. Ablab says this turf. Yeah, well, it's been raining, so any kind of turf is going to be slippery in the rain. Rain is wet, Ablab. Got news for you. 1 penalty. Yeah. Ay Karate saying legit. Hey, he has been very accurate. Even when he's been on the move, he's put 2, to my mind, 2 big-time throws, what you would call a big-time throw or an elite throw. I think people are going to look at this tape, at least so far, if this is, for this first half, we'll see how he does in the second half, and say, wow, he's actually playing the position pretty well, as they say. I mean, the throw to Ruckert and then the throw to Tyler Johnson, those are tough throws that he made. Those aren't easy. And then the throw to Wilson downfield, that was a nice throw. Slippery when wet, yeah. Yeah, I don't think you can. And actually, the field turf drains the water better than grass. So one thing you could give field turf is it's actually less slippery than regular grass because it drains off better. Allegedly. So here's the kickoff from Folk. Sends it down to number 20. And I guess that means they get it at the 35. That's a costly 2 yards, man. Quinnen had a sack. Look at this. This Will McDonald play really impresses me because of the power. That's the thing that was missing from his game. So if he's got that now, man, he could be a really good player. He really, really could. 2:54 to go in the first half. Rodgers will have the ball at I think the 35-yard line. So the fact that we couldn't make it come out 2 yards from the end zone really cost us 35 yards. But anyways, we're in nickel. They are passing, and they throw it to DK Metcalf over his head, sort of incompleto. Second down and 10. Good job by Ahmad. And they're showing a Joe Burrow touchdown throw to somebody. 7-7 Bengals Browns. We're in nickel again, so we're expecting the pass here. Rodgers in shotgun. We're in too high shell, safety-wise. Here comes Jermaine, gets some pressure, but they leave a guy wide open. That's not good. For God's sakes. What is wrong with our defensive backfield, man? We're getting decent pressure, but these dudes are wide open. What the hell's going on? Jermaine got some decent pressure. Quinnen was right there. This dude's wide open. Come on. That's the part of the team we thought was good. Maybe we're wrong. Rodgers has 126 yards. Man. Second and 3. 7, second and 3. So basically, Rodgers been carving us up one way or another, whether it be missed tackles or guys wide open. On the other hand, our offense is looking pretty good. We're running the ball, and then Fields has been efficient with passing with a couple of big gainers in the passing game. So, very interesting game. This is not exactly what we had anticipated. But Rodgers looks good. Boy, if we could sneak out of here with a win, it'd be nice. And then whatever Rodgers does after that is fine with us. Who cares? But, man, it's a long way to go. And Wilkes and Glenn and all these people are supposed to be great with the defensive backfield. Well, the defensive backfield is not playing well. They're not tackling in the open field. That's no bueno. And they're leaving guys wide open. That is also no bueno. You got to do something. Why are you on the field then? So, on the other hand, now it's possible that, after they look at the tape and after they do an analysis, it could be Tony Adams gets demoted. Maybe Malachi Moore comes in. I don't know. They got to determine what exactly happened and who's at fault and all that. But the front looks good. Front of this defense is looking pretty good. It's the defensive backfield. How about a little turnover? Goldstein says, Colts 17-0 over Miami now. The Colts. So Danny Dimes let's go into Indianapolis. Maybe Danny Dimes with a career revival of his own. And maybe Miami, not so hot. 17-0. Rolig says Cisco's a mess right now. And maybe Cisco, and that's the other problem. You know, when you play for a team that has terrible pass defense like the Jags last year and they bench you, that's not good. Everybody wanted to say, yeah, but the year before that he was okay. Well, what about last year? We're just going to throw that out the window? Turnovers. Yeah, how about we get a little turnover? A little Big Apple turnover. Can we get a turnover on Mr. Rodgers? Well, 2 minutes left. 19-10 Jets. Has been an entertaining game, that's for sure. Rodgers looks like he's up to his old tricks, so that's interesting in itself. And our defense has not looked particularly good. Only forced one punt out of 3 so far drives. This is their 4th drive. They scored a touchdown and a field goal. So we'll see if we can at least hold them to a field goal here. We're in nickel. We've been in nickel a lot, and they're passing the ball a lot, using all sorts of trick plays. This is a run. This is Gainwell, only gains. Cisco now is upset about something. Gainwell got about a yard. Cisco came up fighting. Should show that fight when you're in coverage, buddy. How about covering somebody, Andre? All right, now 3rd and 2. Let's see if we can stop them here. I had it 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. Let's see if we go to our base defense. Can we stop them, hold them to a field goal here? That'd be nice. We are in, looks like, nickel still. So that's very interesting. We don't go to base on 3rd and 2. They pass out of it, and Jonnu Smith, it is, gets the couple of yards. That dude is so underrated. Very good pickup they made by trading for Jonnu Smith. Even though they already had a bunch of tight ends that they liked. Jonnu's a different animal altogether. So we couldn't stop them on 3rd and 2. They threw out of it. They did not try to run on the D. And were able to get a couple of yards from Jonnu Smith, the talented tight end they picked up from the Dolphinians. And the Dolphinians themselves are getting spanked 17-0. Aaron Rodgers, 9 out of 12, 135 yards and a touchdown. Boy, he's looking good so far. Looking like his old self. I'll tell you that much. I mean, Jonnu Smith is like a big wide receiver. He's not. Same thing with Freiermuth. These are pass catchers. They do a little bit of blocking, but not much. Minute 12 left now, 1st and 10. We're in nickel. They're in 11. Well, really 12. But they're going to run. Here's Gainwell trying to string it out. Loses the ball, but of course picks it right back up. We have forced a couple of fumbles, but have not been able to take advantage. One was on special teams. Run defense has been good. Pass defense is the problem. They call another timeout. 1:05 left. They have one timeout remaining. We have all of ours. And we have been in nickel a lot, and that is why Michael Carter is such an important player for us. When he's playing well, the defense just completely changes. Not that he's not playing well today, but and they're showing a close-up of the stands. They're showing a close-up of Mike Tomlin's face. They're showing a close-up of Aaron Glenn's face. Can we see the players on the field? It's always amazing to me on the broadcasts. They never tell you what the personnel groupings are or anything like that. It seems like we're in man coverage here. Fake the run. Now he's throwing deep. And, of course, Brandon Stevens doesn't get his head turned around because he's Brandon Stevens. That's what he does. Paid that man $12 million. Made a decent play on the ball, actually, but that's kind of in his bugaboo. This was about 15 yards. And we're just staying in nickel. I mean, we just sticking in nickel, man. I thought based on preseason we might be in base more, but I don't think we will be. Doesn't seem like it. But I will say that seems like Rodgers' passes are also a lot more precise than he was last year. Just sort of like on the money. If you remember last year, there was a lot of bad passes. We're not really seeing that over the head, out of bounds. We're not really seeing that here. Seems like he's fully healthy and back to being the old Aaron Rodgers. 37 seconds remain. Now McCrary balls in, so now we've gone to base. That was a well-designed play right there. Little pop pass. Jonnu Smith is fast and big and hard to handle. And then you got the running back to take care of ball. Man, that's hard to defend right there. Yeah, he got it. So as predicted, it's just a score fest, a barn burner. And this also makes me think about the way the Jets approached Rodgers that whole time he was here was probably the whole incorrect way. What you probably should have just done is not go get Nate Hackett and just run. You just say, look, we'll decide what offense we're running. It's not up to you. Because, if you think about it, there's no connection between Arthur Smith and Aaron Rodgers. And so he's just running Arthur Smith's offense, and he's just doing a good job. Instead of thinking so much, he's probably just running whatever's called. And that's probably the way it should have been, I guess. I don't know. Or it's just the fact that he's healthy. Hold on 88. There's holding on every play, Brian. There's holding on every play. They could call it. They could not call it. That's the way it goes, buddy. Yeah. Yeah, we should have just taken the point, man. Like when you're given free points, you just take them. Unless it's late in the game and you know exactly what you need, just take the free point. Don't play cutesy. I mean, unless you're some sort of super offensive team and you really like with the Eagles, they know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing, and they can do whatever, and it's fine. Because they have the tush push, they have this, they have that. We're not there yet. Just take the point, be happy, smile, and go off the field. I mean, Instead, we got to get cute. Because the analytics say if you move it up a yard, your chances increase by 33%. Analytics is great, but sometimes you just got to be logical and smart. 32 seconds remain. Let's see how the Jets approach the last remaining. It's going to be about 25 seconds or so. Probably depends on how the kick return goes and where we wind up being. This is Xavier Gibson with the return. He takes it out to the 33-yard line. And some pushing and shoving going on. So 27 seconds from the 33. One timeout. We'll probably just run the ball and go into the locker room, I would anticipate. Nope, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe we'll try and do something. Second and 2. Garrett Wilson with the catch. "19 seconds remaining on the clock. Now some pushing and shoving. It was a late hit on Fields, and now everybody's over here trying to fight. So you like to see that from the Jets, actually. Let's show some fight, man. You can't hit our quarterback like that. Now they're calling a penalty on us, and that's perfectly fine, the way I see it. You want to hit our quarterback late? The whole team's got to fight. The whole fucking team has to take the guy down and out. Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey wants to play around. Dude should be bleeding right now. Good. I'm glad John Simpson did that. I'm glad. That's the way it's got to be. And it should have been more. You got to, we can't let these people push us around anymore. It's time for that shit to end. They don't call a late hit on Jalen Ramsey. No. They always say they call it on the second guy. We have all these replays. That could help get the first guy for the penalty. What about that? Yeah, good. I'm glad we're fighting. We do need to fight. We need to show some fight. I think this is a good thing. You cannot let people push us around. Good. And it's Garrett and it's J Ray. Good. You need to push this punk around. Jalen Ramsey is a punk. He's a fucking punk. You need to take him out. That's what you need to do. Let this punk touch our quarterback. What a punk. Yeah, exactly. We need to stand up for ourselves. We can't be punked by these people, man, because it happens too much, and it's because we never show any fight. Let him pop our quarterback? I don't think so. I don't think that we're going to let Jalen Ramsey pop our quarterback after the whistle. No, I don't think so. Gyro. Yeah, all in all, not bad, right, Montalvo? We showed some fight. We showed some spark. Showed something, but defense isn't looking too hot. I'll tell you that much. Run defense wasn't bad. Yeah. If that was Mahomes, there would be 30 flags on the play. 35 flags on the play. 35 flags. You cannot touch Patrick Mahomes. Forget that. But Justin Fields, that's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Give me a break, man. Yeah, Fields to Wilson. Fields to Wilson. Seems like a good connection, right? I mean, the other receivers aren't really getting involved at all, but, we're not throwing that much. And hopefully what we do is just ground and pound them in the second half until they can't take it anymore. That's what I hope. Ground and pound, keep blocking them and blocking them to the ground and put their face in the dirt. That's what you do in football. Yeah, we haven't punted once. That's good. No, JJ's been fine. Looking good to me, explosive. Got a few pressures on Rodgers already, so they certainly didn't rush him at all new. O-line is holding up. Yeah, that's a good point. O-line seems to be doing pretty good. I mean, these are elite players. Hayward, Watt, they're elite players. They really are. And, having Fields with his escapability helps. He got in trouble a couple of times and got out of there. So, Watt has mostly been kept in check, yeah. Couple of pressures, but Arlen Abraham making an appearance. What a first half. A lot higher score than I thought. Yeah, that's what we've been saying. We're a scrappy bunch. Yeah, let's hope so. Let's hope it continues. Let's hope the defense tightens up. And so I think I'll take a little bathroom break. We need a nature break. And be back right after this. And you can listen to the Frankie from Flatbush theme song. If I can find it. While we take a short break here on FSPN.
Frankie from Flatbush rides the Brooklyn line. Got a swagger sharp like a vintage wine. Everybody knows his name from porch to stoop. Hustling dreams in every loop. In the park he struts, hits the handball wall. Echoes hear the stories when the shadows fall. Got 1,000 tales and a confident grin. On the streets of Flatbush where legends begin. Frankie from Flatbush got the city glow, lighting up the borough with his every show. He's the heart of Brooklyn, never laying low. Frankie from Flatbush, always on the go. Bodega lights flicker when Frankie's near. He's got the rhythm, everybody cheers. Corner talks and sidewalk chalks his fame. In the Flatbush breeze you'll hear his name. Underneath the subway hum, the magic's real. Frankie's moves got that electric feel. From Atlantic Avenue to the urban hill, up the borough with his every show. He's the heart of Brooklyn, never laying low. Frankie from Flatbush, always on the go. Frankie from Flatbush got the city glow. Lighting up the borough with his every show. He's the heart of Brooklyn, never laying low. Frankie from Flatbush, always on the go. Always on the go. Always on the go. Always on the go.
All right, let's take a look at some stats. Justin Fields, 9 of 11, 134, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Aaron Rodgers, 11 out of 14, 159, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. But the running side, they have 22 yards rushing on the half. We have 106. Kenneth Gainwell, 6 for 13. Jaylen Warren, 4 for 9. Breece Hall has 9 for 49. Fields has 6 for 30. Davis has 18. Allen for 9 and a touch. Receiving, Garrett Wilson has 5 catches for 68 yards and a touchdown. Breece Hall, 2 for 38. Tyler Johnson, 1 for 24. That was a 24-yarder. And Ruckert, 1 for 4. So, interesting game. They have 2 fumbles. Quincy Williams, 3 tackles, all solo. Quinnen has a sack. McDonald has a sack. So those are basically the main stats at the half. Very interesting. If Justin Fields can be this efficient moving forward for the season, we got a chance to be okay. If you combine this rushing game with an efficient passing game, well, that's good offense. Defense, the run defense, we held them for 2.2 yards. They have 10 carries for 22 yards. That's nothing. And then, but Rodgers is carving us up in the passing game. So, I don't know. Not too bad, I guess. The offense is better than we thought. The defense is worse. Pass defense is worse than we thought. We should be on defense to start this second half since we received the ball. First, so we'll be kicking off to them to start the second half. Hi, Karate. Good first half on offense, yeah. Gerbo. Maybe, Gerbo, maybe. At least we scored, says Lord Jaffe. We usually have to wait till the third game of the season. Yeah, now let's hope we can keep it up in the second half and hopefully defensive adjustments, as they say. Let's see what Wilkes is made of here, because we're doing a good job against the run, but Rodgers is carving us up. And so let's see how we adjust to that. Is something wrong with Michael Carter? Not that I know of. He played a lot of snaps in the first half. I saw him on the field a bunch. So Les is saying AG's energy and body language compared to Salah, night and day difference. So maybe AG is more suited for us. Maybe Salah is more suited for the West Coast. Maybe it all works out for everybody. Defense adjustments, damn it. Yeah. If he's going to carve us up, you might as well blitz the hell out of him. Look, he's on point, right? He's carving us up. Blitz the hell out of him just in case you get home and get a sack. If he's going to carve us up anyway. Bring the turnovers, Tony Alexio says. Green Bean has not seen 1 but 2 TDs. He must be over the moon. Well, I'm sure he is. I'm sure the boys are happy there in the game because, We saw a first half of competence. We said, let's be competent. And that's what we saw. We saw a team that looked competent, wasn't all perfect. There were some plays that were like, uh-oh. But still, overall, pretty good. And so I think we got to be happy with the early returns anyways. And we'll see what the second half brings. If we can steal this game, that would be fantastic. After all, we're 3-point underdogs at home, which means we're kind of like 6-point underdogs, really, kind of. And so, if we could come away with a win, that'd be fantastic. But we got to see what happens. Corners need to adjust. Yeah, the coverage stuff, we're going to have to look at the tape to figure out what the hell's going on. It could be any number of things. And for that, you got to figure out, you got to look at the all 22, which of course we will do. Post-match show review later. I'll probably do a rapid reaction, but don't forget, Les, I've been on the air since 10 o'clock this morning, my friend. And so I'll probably do a rapid reaction, which is just sort of like off the dome reaction, 5-minute little video. And then for the review, the in-depth review, you got to watch the all 22. You got to look at the data. You got to look at the tape. You got to look at all this stuff to come to the conclusions that you want to come to in a video. You got to look at the PFF grades, all the things we look at, data, film, you name it, we look at it. And that's what you got to do when you want to do a proper analysis. But a rapid reaction is just like, right after the game, right off top of the dome. Todd says defense is a little too aggressive. I'd like to see open field tackling was what I'd like to see. Best half of Jets football in years. That's an interesting thought, edutain me. Very interesting thought. And if this is what we're in for this year, look, it could be a better year than we thought. At least more entertaining, assuming we get our act together with these, on pass defense. And we'll find out because Rodgers is going to come out throwing. He wants to keep putting up yardage and touchdowns. He's out there trying to move up the all-time ranks. He already put 2 touchdowns on the board, so he's coming close to Brett Favre on the all-time list of touchdowns. He could get it as soon as next game or if he goes crazy this game, but so, he's going to come out firing. So we got to come up with something to stop that. So let's see what Wilkes and Glenn come up with here. They don't want, they don't want that to be the thing that, burns us because that's supposed to be their specialty, if you think about it. We haven't really seen, I don't know, unless you guys saw him, Tyler Barron. I haven't seen him come into the game unless I had missed it. And here's the kickoff. Number 20 has it for the Steelers, takes it out to the 30-yard line. That's where they will start on offense with Mr. Rogers and his neighborhood. So we'll see what Glenn and Wilkes have cooked up for this second half. Hopefully something a little better than what we saw in the first half as far as passing defense, and hopefully the rushing defense stays the same. They really were not able to establish the run, but they just gouged us with the passes. And Rodgers looks like he's on point, so I will say that. Now they're doing runs up the middle. This is not good. We were in base 2. Warren +8. So now they're hitting us up the middle. So I don't know. It seems like they're out coaching us here. Watt is on the bike for some reason. Oh, that's because he's just warming up. So now we're in base again. 2nd and 1, I have it as. Yep. That's a nice stop by Quinnen. Warren -1, so 3rd and 2. Can we do it again? Kiko Mawagoa. By the way, the fact that Kiko Mawagoa is our linebacker 3, that's a very important piece of information, and it'll be very instructive to look at the tape on Mr. Malagoa, see how he played. If he played really well, he hasn't made any splash plays or anything, but if he played really well, that would be great in terms of, we drafted this guy in the 5th round. Now we're in base, and they went split. They split everybody out. This is trouble, I think. Flag. Delay of game, so now it's 3rd and 7. 3rd and 7, so now we're going to go nickel. We do. We got 1-on-1 on the outside with Sauce and DK. Incomplete, good pressure. Okay, all right. We are getting pressure at times. Johnson, look at that move by Johnson. Boy. Then Quinnen came in to pop him. That was a nice spin move by Johnson, by Jermaine right there. Punt. $20.15. So we start out on our own 15. P and 10 at -15. All right. So, to me, that spin move to me tells me JJ's looking pretty good. You know what I mean? He didn't really have a spin move of significance, before. Maybe he learned it from Spinny McWhinney. But to me, if he's doing spin moves and things like that, that means he's feeling pretty good, right? The way I see it. And so if McDonald is stronger now, we saw the power rush, and if Jermaine Johnson is back to his old self and added a few moves like a spin move to his repertoire, those two could be significant players for us. So, I don't know. So far, so good for those two. Hope we get back to running. Yeah, I agree with Joe. No, I'm not seeing it. I mean, if he wasn't feeling good, he would not be doing spin moves and all this. Yeah, let's get back to running. Run, and hit him with the pass. It's got to be jab, 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 right hook, like the old Gary Vee thing. Remember that? Jab, 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 right hook. If you start majoring in the pass, that's when Justin's going to fall out, I think. You got to just jab, 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 right hook. The right hook being the passing. That's the way I see it. You got to lull him to sleep and then boom, hit him in the jaw. Run, and block him right into the ground. Block Jalen Ramsey right into the dirt. Block. Put a tight end right on Jalen Ramsey. Block him into the dirt. That's your one job, Ruckert. Something like that. Yeah, Joe, I agree with you. I think where's Tyler Barron? I mean, these guys are going to get tired. Clemens, we've seen him. Has anybody seen Tyler Barron on the field? I mean, I saw Clemens. I mean, if Barron's not going to, maybe he did. It's hard to see everybody when you're doing all this, but he certainly hasn't made any plays of note. All right, can we stop with the close-up of people's faces? Can we please show us who's on the field? Please, begging you. We had that one. Guy got batted. 2nd and 10. Yeah, get back to running, Engstrand. Yeah, and again, a late hit, no call. They never call it on Justin. The same thing. It was the same thing in Chicago with him because he's big, I think, and tough. Sort of like thick looking. They just don't call it on him. They never do. All runs for 2 yards. Third and 8. Not great. I don't know what Fields was upset with there. Took a little dump off. Yeah, not great. Bad punt. Not the best punt. Yeah. Of course, the problem is once you start running every time on first down, they can just load the box on you. So, well, maybe the second half will be more defense intensive. Defensive. We'll see. Yeah, 3-on-1 is never going to go that great. Fields probably thought he should go outside. I looked at it. I was like, man, why doesn't he take it outside? That might be what Fields was upset about. Because otherwise it was just a dump off. You can't really expect Garrett to beat 3 guys, but he kind of had a lane on the outside he could have taken. Oh, we'll see. We shall see. But it'll be interesting to see if we can continue, on offense after they make their adjustments. Of course, they have Mike Tomlin. And so their defensive adjustments, are probably going to be on point. So can Engstrand and company, counteract that? And that's really, the question. And hopefully we don't get bogged down and just remain on 19 points. We got to keep going. And actually, that first pass, it's unfortunate because Garrett was wide open. And it probably would have been a completion, but the guy got his hand up and hit it. I mean, that's just bad luck. So, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? But we really need to see if we can keep grounding and pounding throughout the whole game. Like, stay committed to it and do it well. And they're allowing Mike Tomlin to just continue to influence the refs or something. I don't know. 1st and 10. Do we know where the ball is placed? Can we get that? No, or do we need to have? All right, it's at the 23. And do these refs know what they're doing? Do they know how to referee a football game? Everybody seems upset. Glenn upset. Tomlin. Do these guys know the rules? Do they know what they're doing? Anybody know what they're doing around here? There's Zach Azzani, by the way, our former wide receiver coach. Indianapolis up 23-0 over Miami. That's surprising that Miami has no points against the Colts. Somewhat surprising. Oh! Great coverage by Michael Carter. And, of course, Rodgers blaming everybody else. Somebody did something wrong. He never him. Damn, Kane is out. God damn. Stupid injuries. Rodgers from the shotgun again, probably going to throw even more. Throw. That's all he knows. Let's assault the record book. No, he's giving off. Gainwell. God damn, we got to make that tackle. All right, 3rd down. Let's get off the field now. 3rd and 5. So, god damn. Got 50% of it. All right, 3rd and 5. They're going quick. Again, Rodgers blaming everybody but himself. What was the problem there? You want him to jump higher? Too many men on the field. What? Oh, man. Christ. Discipline. We had it. See, you can't have those play. You had the play. You cannot let Rodgers have that. Fucking bullshit. Can we get a stop, please? All right. Good job, boys. Look at that. That is a great play by Quinnen. Double team, comes off and makes a tackle. I mean, that's good job by Quinnen. Attaboy. All right. Puntadero. All right, defense. I see you. Come on, Gibby. Come on, Gibby. Oh, he's out of bounds. And they don't throw the flag. God's sakes. All right. Well, now the defenses are rising up. What to make of all this? Jeez. Yeah, Gyro, I don't know what you're looking at. I disagree with you. We should give the D more credit. Some of this actually Steelers coaching, Rodgers. No, missing tackles in the open field is not magician stuff, Edutane. I mean, the defense did good against a run, and they've sacked him. But there's a couple of spots where dudes were wide open, and dudes just needed to be tackled in the open field, and we didn't make the tackle. So you got to evaluate it fairly. So overall, they're doing okay. But what I would say is that they're doing good on the run. They're doing good with their pressures, but the coverage has been poor, and the open field tackling a couple of times was poor. And so the coverage is, you got to look at the all 22 to figure out why. Coverage, you can't see that on the TV copy. Could be one guy's out of position. Could be Rodgers just made a great throw and beat us. It depends. But it seems like both of their defenses are stepping up now and are playing like we thought they would play in the beginning. They're playing that way now in the second half. So very interesting. It'll be interesting to see. I'm just continually interested to see how Engstrand, and Glenn by extension, are going to respond in game to these situations. Certain things went right in the first half. Okay, great. Then the Steelers, made adjustments, and now they shut us down a couple of times. Okay, great. Now, how do we respond to that? And let's get it going. In-game adjustments, get the feel of the game, the flow of the game. Let's get it going. See what we got. Coverage is solid based. Yeah, that dude was out of bounds. I mean, Gibby was out of bounds and he hit him. We don't get any calls. I mean, really. They're showing Manchester, UK for Phil Adams out there. All right, now we got Braylon Allen in the game. We got 21 personnel with Andrew Beck. Fields is going to be under center. Interestingly, you got Jalen Ramsey playing center field as if he's a safety. That's a nice play by 56. And that's a run that didn't work. Allen, no gain. Second down and 10. So you see they're playing with a single high. So they're putting Jalen Ramsey all over the place. Here they played a single high, probably cover 3, and brought another guy into the box. And that's when you can't really run. Well, it's harder to run. And it was hard to run. So let's see what they continue to do against some of these looks that we're going to get. But things have definitely slowed down as far as our offense is concerned. This is 12 personnel. Another run. This is Brees getting 6 hard yards. All right, 3rd and 4 now. We got to convert this. 5, they say. 3rd and 5. So 3rd and medium. All right, let's see. Come on, Justin. Let's get it done now. Cleveland ahead of Cincinnati, 16-14. Tampa Bay and Atlanta tied up 10-10. This is an interesting formation. Isaiah Davis is out on the perimeter. This looks like 11 personnel, but they just move Davis into the slot. Interestingly, there's a nice throw. All right, go down, Ruck. All right, Ruck, we see you. All right, Ruck. What was that, about 15 yards? And you notice Justin staying in the pocket, making it happen. Not a perfect pass, but pretty good. Good enough. Good enough. All right, 1st and 10. I like it. And if Ruck can just be that safety blanket in the middle and make plays like that, hey, that's what we need him to do. And block, of course. All right, there we go. Attaboy, Brees. Let's keep feeding Brees. Brees is looking pretty good. Breaking tackles. Bringing 2 defenders along with him. I got 11 personnel here. Flags. Illegal motion or something. Yeah. I don't know about that. But Tyler Johnson is getting significant snaps, so that's kind of interesting since we called him up in the practice squad. Here's the pony alignment with 2 running backs. Oh, that's a face mask. They're not going to call a face mask? What? Let's see how many Brees got. 5, 10, 15, 17. Keep feeding the man. Keep feeding the man. This is 11. Well, that didn't work too good. 2nd and 9. All right, that's enough for a breather. Bring Hall back in. Get Hall back in here. Ground and pound, tire him down. Oh, they can say in 2nd and 10, he got a yard. Gotta give him a yard. Out of 11 again. Man in motion. Man. All right. Well, that was pretty good. And that's the kind of drive you want. That's the kind of drive you want. 6 rush, 2 pass, jab, 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 right hook. There you go. TD XP 2617. Nice. Attaboy, Justin. I don't know. It's looking pretty good. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plays. 6 rush, 2 pass. That's what we need to be. Jab, 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 right hook. Jab, 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 right hook. Jab, 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 right hook. I mean, Justin's looking pretty good, huh? Justin Fields, 12 out of 15, 173, 1 touchdown, and a rushing touchdown. He also has 32 yards on the ground. Breece Hall, 13 carries for 88 yards. Justin Fields has 32. Isaiah has 18. Braylon, 9. Total of 147 yards on the ground. As far as receiving, Garrett Wilson has 7 catches for 95 yards and a touchdown. Breece Hall has 2 catches for 38. Tyler Johnson, 1 for 24. Jeremy Ruckert, 2 for 16. And Jeremy Ruckert, those 2 for 16, but they were very, very, very important catches. And that's what we need out of Jeremy Ruckert. We don't need him to be, George Kittle or Travis Kelce or anything like that. Give us a clutch first down when we need it. And that's what he did there. This was 6th drive. So this is the 7th drive for Pittsburgh coming up here. This resulted in a punt. So, hopefully this play style can really work for us because it's working pretty good so far. Yeah, this should be the kind of like, the model that we look at because, and when something's not there, Jalen takes it and runs. What does he do? He takes it and runs. It's not there. Okay. Take off and run. Well, we got someone like that now. Really good picks. I don't know. I'd have to check that out on film. Hopefully he has some good blocks. They take it out to the 33-yard line where they will begin. I'd like our kick coverage team to be a little better. How come we can only get it out to the 25? They could get it out near the 35. Josh Allen is definitely not taking notice. Josh Allen's probably like, oh, that's good for them. How nice for them. All right, we're in base. But they're going to be passing. Well, you'd think so. I mean, it's not out of hand or anything, but look how many people are in the box here. We are convinced they're running, and they are, so we should be able to stop it. All right. And that they throw a flag on, right? What a bunch of dirt bags. Like their guy gets hit, oh, that's a flag. But, our guy gets smashed, and they both were worthy of a flag, don't get me wrong. It's Quincy again. Quincy, you got to play smarter, buddy. But we don't get the call, they do. We give them a free first down. There's no reason for that. The guy's fucking out of bounds already. I mean, we could get mad at the refs, but Quincy just cannot do that. We had the box completely stacked. They ran it anyway. We there's a no gain. All you got to do is just let him run out of bounds, dumb. But he's got to hit him, and it gives them momentum. This is nickel. Nice play by Sauce. Man. That last play really pisses me off. We had the perfect defense. We had all these people in the box. There was no way they were going anywhere. We commit a penalty to give them a first down. Boneheaded. That's what we call it. 2nd and 10, nickel. Another pass play from Rojo. Come on, get up, Stevens. For Christ's sakes. Man, it's a first down. $14 out of 20, 188, 2 tutties for Rodgers. So he continues to play well. Man, it's too many breakdowns in the defensive backfield. Somebody got to cover that guy. Second down and 7, 3 yards on that for Warren. We're mostly in nickel this whole game now. We are ahead, so you wouldn't expect. I mean, then they are in 11 a lot, so wouldn't expect anything other than that. And you're noticing Michael Clemens is on the field now. There's a hold they didn't call. How's this not a hold on Johnson? But you notice Clemens is on the field, but Tyler Barron is not. So, Jermaine Johnson's still out there with the second unit people. So Johnson's playing a lot of snaps. Be worried about his conditioning a bit. It's been a year off. But yeah, Gyro, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. We got to watch the tape. we got to watch the tape, man, because, and also, depends on the rules, depends on who's supposed to do what. And with some stuff, we're not going to know. But when you're talking about coverage breakdowns, you got to watch the tape, see what's going on, see what we're in, and then try to figure out what rules we have, and then ascertain who screwed it up. But the fact that Tyler Barron's not even on the field with the second unit, and we have to have Jermaine out there, who, of course, missed a year, and so his conditioning may be a little less than you'd want. That's no good. That's a big hole on your roster. And so that's something to monitor, because he's not playing special teams, Tyler Barron. Yeah, exactly. You're right, Jag. Yeah, the secondary, and that was supposed to be a strength. But of course, everybody skipped over the fact that our safeties aren't very good. So, when you construct a roster and you have holes on it, it's going to get, figured out. So we'll have to see. Hopefully this defense can get a stop here somehow. Though their running game's getting a little better in terms of, they're grinding out some yards here. So, and then they're just making big plays in the pass game. Rodgers seems to be on his game so far. So here we go in the fourth quarter. Which team can outlast the other one? Now Tyler Barron's on the field, 94. So let's see if Tyler Barron can do something. Anything. First and goal. No good. That's just a good play call, I think. But 3 touchdowns for Rodgers moves him that much closer to the all-time list. So this will be 26-24. There it is. It's 2 behind his buddy, Brett Favre. And now we got to keep up the pressure. I mean, we got to keep scoring. Apparently, our defense isn't very good. At least not right now. Rodgers, 16 of 22, 211, 3 tutties. So he's going to have an excellent passer rating. And, of course, we have no turnovers, no fumbles, no interceptions. No bueno. But let's hope the offense can keep it going. We got to keep rolling on the offense. Grounding and pounding them. Here's Gibby on the return. Oh, boy. Someone please get Xavier Gipson off this team. Someone please figure out why we have Xavier Gipson here. God's sake, man. How many times do we have to learn the same damn lesson that this guy stinks? Well, there goes this ball game, ladies and gentlemen. That was fun while it lasted. Fuck, man. Now, it's funny. All the fans, a lot of times the fans are just right. We all knew that he stunk. The coaching staff couldn't figure it out. Jesus Christ. Brandon Stevens. Nice job. Just letting him score. Let's give that man $12 million. All right. Good job. $12 million man can't do nothing. $12 million a year for 3 years. Nice. Well, you know, there's always next year. Just kidding. Brandon Stevens, your $36 million cornerback that the Baltimore Ravens didn't want. Yeah. The Ravens don't know what they're doing. The Ravens obviously are a bunch of bums. They don't know what they're doing. It's really amazing. I mean, Rodgers looks like 2021 Rodgers, and we look like a bunch of bums. Because we had to sign a $12 million guy and give up a 4th-round pick next year for it. You know, we could have taken the same $12 million, spent it on Brandon Eccles, Tyler Conklin, and a defensive tackle, and had a 4th-round pick. But instead of having all of that, we got Brandon Stevens, who can't turn his head around and who stinks. So, which I said at the time, I will say, not second guessing it. I first guessed it, as did a lot of people, actually. And so, you know, it's not good when your coaching staff and your scouting staff get things wrong and the fans know better. That's not good. That's not good. Not good at all. But, you know, maybe he'll improve someday. Someday. You never know. Someday he'll figure out how to cover people. He'll figure it out. Man, I think it must be that Nathaniel Hackett is just a total loser. And this is the same quarterback who couldn't figure out how to do anything with us. And another kickoff to Gibby. Spinning out to the 33-yard line. Yeah, and Rodgers often starts slow, right? And not against us, though. 4 touchdowns. Probably throw another one before it's all said and done. Boy, oh boy. Man. I think that was 12. Hall gets 4. 1st and 10. Man. Indianapolis leads Miami 30-8. This is 12. We're running a lot of 12 personnel this series. There's Mason Taylor. Nice catch, Mason. Fields picks up 5. 2nd and 5. Las Vegas is on top of New England by 7. Miami looks like it's going to lose. Washington 14-6 over the Giants. And that story is going to be all about when does Jackson Dart come into play. We are just sticking with 12. Third and 2, big third down here. They're saying 3rd and 1. Okay. Field goal doesn't do us much good because the defense stinks. Braylon Allen in the game. Flag on the play. Chalk block. Oh, God. They'll just invent fucking flags for us. Fucking bullshit, man. Wait, how's it first and goal? I don't understand. Did we get a penalty or did we not? What the hell's going on in this game? I don't understand how we got a penalty, but it's first and goal. Trying to cover the spread. First of all, I don't understand what the penalty is. This is just football being played here. And then somehow it's on us. But also, is it on them? Ramsey penalty. Well, what did Ramsey do wrong? I don't get that at all. That's just football to me. I don't see what he did wrong. I don't see what anybody did wrong. Just let him play, for God's sakes. These stupid rules. What did Ramsey do wrong there? I don't understand. All right, well, first and goal from the 5. We were in 21 personnel before the timeout. Not great that we had to take a random timeout as we're driving because we might need it late in the game, especially the way our stupid defense is playing. This is, now we're in 12 personnel. And Brees Hall maybe gets a yard, maybe. Got to punch this one in. Obviously, field goal's not going to help that much. Let's punch it in on these boys. That's not what you want. Olu. Fuck. Man, that's a young player mistake right there. Not sure why he's oversetting to the left, but he aggressively did it. Shoot, man. Man. Well, 4th and goal. Let's see what we got. We got to pull out the best play we got for a short yardage. And it's about a yard. So I thought he got it a little closer, but they didn't give us a generous spot. Of course not. I thought he got it closer than that. It's a yard plus. We're in 22 personnel, actually. Timeout. Can we at least know what we're doing and get it done? Well, I like the call. I don't like this part of it. Just run it in, Justin. Don't play games. We don't need games around here, Justin. Man, Simpson came off. That's not good. Two-point try. That makes sense now. Man, we're calling timeouts on 2-point tries. Not great. Not great. Nope, Hayward's back in there. Indianapolis 33, Miami 8. 2-point try. Jets ahead 32-31. And we're passing into triple coverage. Not great, guys. Not great. But we did take the lead 32-31. So let's be happy about that. But of course, with our defense being what it has been, not too confident in a 1-point lead. But we will take a nature break and be back right after this. Oh, man. Gerbo says, hey, this hasn't been boring. That's all I care about after the last decade plus of watching paint dry. Yeah. Defense not looking good. The offense looks surprisingly competent. So, yeah. I mean, Gibby. We all said it. We all said it in the preseason. There's no reason for Gibson to be on this team. Just put Jamal Pritchett on. We all know what Gibby is, and he's not good enough. We all said it. But this coaching staff couldn't see it, went with him, and he gets a fumble-aya. And now they're returning the kick. And it's out to the 30. It seems like they always get it out to the 35 or so. They're doing a much better job on their kick returns, I think. Tampa Bay is leading Atlanta 17-13. Las Vegas ahead of New England 20-10. So Rodgers comes back out against our terrible defense and probably going to lead a game-winning drive based on all of his passings. Although that didn't work. Gainwell minus something. Second down. All right, 2nd and 15. Let's get a good pass rush, boys. This is when it counts now. Oh! Can you please just catch the ball? It's like right in. Why do you have to be? It's like right there. All right, boys, let's come on now. Let's get a good pass rush here. We got 2 deep safeties. Atta boy. Williams brothers and Briggs in there. Good job. All right, now let's just ground and pound it. Jeez. Flag on the play. Chris Banjo, illegal block. Chris Banjo got a lot of work to do. Final Indianapolis Colts 33, Miami 8. Arizona is leading the Saints 20-3. Washington's beating the Giants 20-6. Interesting. Jacksonville 20, Carolina 3 at the half. How's that game at the half only? Cincinnati, Cleveland 17-10 Bengals. 17-13 Bucks over the Falcons. Las Vegas is beating New England 20-10. So Miami didn't have a good opening day. All right, let's see where we're starting at. Let's just ground and pound it. Can we stop showing the OC, please? Thank you. We only have one timeout. It's 5:21 remaining in the ball game. Can we get a few first downs on the ground? We're in 11 personnel. Out of the shotgun. Passing the ball to Josh Reynolds. All right. 5-yard gain. Brandon Eccles in the game, everybody. Makes a surprise appearance. All right, 3rd and 3. Big third down here. Well, we stayed in 11 personnel this whole time here. Son of a bitch. Well, that wasn't good. That was not good at all. No bueno. Nice punt, but here comes Aaron Rodgers to save the day with his amazing passing. Probably throws his fifth touchdown pass of the day. Hooray. And everybody can be jumping up and down. Good God. And all they need is a field goal. For heaven's sakes. We're in base. They're going to be passing. Christ. Brandon Stevens, ladies and gentlemen. As I told you when it happened. At least he turned his head this time. So there's that. Well, at least we didn't get blown out. I will say that. At least we didn't get blown out. I mean, don't forget, they have a very accurate long-distance kicker. So, unless we can get a turnover or something weird happens. What did Folk do? He missed the extra point. It wouldn't have made a difference. And plus, we shouldn't have gone for two there. We should have just taken there was a penalty on the play. And the other guy could be worse. Yeah. Close. Yeah, Fields played well. The offense in general played pretty well. But the defense was the problem. We couldn't stop a nosebleed. Defense was really the problem. And, Brandon Stevens is not good. He never was good, and he's not going to be good. And we gave him a 3-year contract for $36 million, thinking we'll make him good. We'll make him good. Yeah, sure. We know more than the Baltimore Ravens do Oh, yeah. Sure. Okay. Yeah. We know more than the Baltimore Ravens do. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They couldn't wait to get rid of that guy. I mean, Ravens fans were laughing at that contract, laughing their butts off. So, that's just the way it is. I mean, Stevens had a chance for a pick. Yep. Gibson, Fumbalaya. And then just overall passing defense, guys wide open, guys running, juking us out in the open field, running forever for a long gain. Very annoying to watch this kind of crap. And now we got to watch Aaron Rodgers just to make it sting a little more. We got to watch Aaron Rodgers carve us up like turkey on Thanksgiving. I mean, you just got to watch it. There's Boswell, their kicker. He kicks 50-plus yarders basically consistently. 3rd and 11. They called timeout. They got plenty of time. We don't. And Boswell warming up. Indianapolis 33-8. Arizona closing in on a win 20-13 over the Saints. Washington looks like they're going to beat the Giants. Jacksonville over Carolina 20-3. So the Panthers continue to struggle. Cincinnati 17, Cleveland 16. Looks like the Bengals got that win under their belt. 3rd and 11. Rodgers trying to put the final dagger in the New York Jets in this ball game, ladies and gentlemen. And there he goes, attacking Brandon Stevens. And looks like he got away with it. No call. So now they'll try this field goal. And yeah, that was DPI for sure. Got away with it. So now they'll try this field goal, hit it, and then we'll have a minute left. Yay. Yippee skippy. 60-yarder. Unfortunately, this dude has an incredible leg. Already made a 56-yarder, 60-yarder, no problem. Chris Boswell, bada bink, bada boom. See you later, Jetsies. 34-32, field goal. And the pain goes on and on and on and on. and on. Man, so close and yet so far. So close, so far. Well, 56 seconds left. See what Fields can do here. Throws it over the middle. Tyler Johnson. We don't have time for over the middle, guys. Really, we don't. We really don't. We had to call timeout during the 2-point conversion. We couldn't figure that out. Jeez, man. Jeez Louise. Yeah, they're going to blitz, guys. They're going to blitz. You might want to figure that one out. Pain never ends. And of course, that's how it ends with Jalen Ramsey being able to do this. And Garrett Wilson's injured. Great. For the love of Christ, man. Well, we gave it a good try, everybody, but turns out we stink still. Yeah, well, when, it's one of those things, he should have just ran for the first and then spiked it and then just take it from there, but nope, decided to throw it. So Fields winds up 16 for 22. 218 yards in the air, one touchdown, couple of runs in. Breece Hall, 19 carries, 107 yards. Justin Fields, 12 for 48 on the ground, 2 touchdowns. We had 182 yards rushing and lost the game. That's not good. Rodgers finishes 22 out of 30, 244, 4 touchdowns, 4 sacks. We held them to 54 yards rushing, so it's really our secondary that was the issue in this game. DK Metcalf, 83 yards. Calvin Austin, 70 yards. Garrett Wilson, 7 catches for 95 yards and 1 touchdown. Breece Hall, 2 for 38. Tyler Johnson, 2 for 31. Mason Taylor, 1 catch, 20 yards. Quincy Williams, 6 tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss. Quinnen Williams had another sack and 2 sacks for Will McDonald. Other than that, we just could not sustain. So thanks for joining, everybody. We'll see you.